Dear futures, welcome you all to this particular video. This is Tulsi Ram. Today, in this particular video, I'll be discussing about the why is democracy and what is democracy, grade 9th standard, political science first lesson. So let us get into the lesson. One beauty of NCERT or CBSE syllabus is that they'll give lesson starting as if it is a discussion among the children or a group of people, where each one of them will be having a dialogues, and when you go through the dialogues and when we share among our own self, characterizing each one with particular name and going through the dialogues, the lesson will be starting as a conversation. Coming to the democracy, it's a different form of government. We do have many different types of government based on the formation of them and working process of them. Mainly, how do they form? Democracy is a word which is actually derived from the Greek language. It is actually a mix of two different letters. First one is demos, which means people, kratia, which means the rule. So when you put together, it's like people's rule or rule of the people. They gave a small definition here. Democracy is a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. So who are the rulers? People who are elected by the people are the rulers. For examples they give which are not democratic or non-democratic form of government. They give Myanmar or Myanmar. So where the army will be deciding who should be forming the government and who should be in the government, just like Pakistan. See, whenever there is a prime minister and elections happen in Pakistan, if they are not in favor of the army and if they are not listening to the defense forces, he or she opposing the military and not listening to the military, though they win with a majority votes, they will be put up in the jail or will be given a huge punishment. When the army is controlling, you cannot call it as a democracy. They give here Chile as a dictatorship form of government. Let's take North Korea. Kim Jong is one of the leaders who is actually ruling over there. It's kind of monarchical form, but extreme level of monarchy. Monarchy means mono means one person ruling it. Monarch means the person who is ruling it, like who is not ready to listen anybody anta. But when it comes to monarchy, it's a form of government. Dictatorship, dictator is a person who is ruling. Dictatorship is a form of government where they'll absolutely rule however they wanted. They don't bother about welfare of the people. No, whether people are happy or sad, they don't ever bother about it. Whatever they wanted to do it, they'll just do it. There is no second thought in it, and there is nobody who can suggest them until they themselves wanted it. But here they gave a picture like democracy where the army people are actually trying to make it stand over there, and M is written in a big letter. Here they gave this cartoon was drawn when elections were held in Iraq with the presence of US and other foreign powers, like army of the other countries has come over there to conduct the elections. See, when army is forcing them to vote over there, and when army is putting gun on somebody's head and saying, okay, you should vote to this particular person or maybe in favor of this party, then we can never gonna call it as a democracy, because it is not elected with a soul and whole responsibility of the people, but because of the guns and bullets. So it will not be considered as democracy. In the present scenario, most of the modern states means countries are trying to pretend as if they are the democratic, but in reality they are not the democratic form of governments. Coming to the features of democracy, so what are the advantages and what are the main things that are part of democracy? Here let us split that definition again. Democracy is a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. We'll break it into some small words so that we can understand better. The rulers, who will be the rulers? The one who will be elected by the people will be the rulers. And then elections, how does that happen? Based on a particular guidelines and rules given by the constitution, particular time period. For example, India, we do it in every 5 years once, but in foreign countries they do once in every 4 years and once in every 6 years. There are different patterns of the elections. That depends on the constitution and their feasibility and their adaptability. Who will choose them as representatives? The voters of this country, particular country. Voters in the sense, there will be parameters like 18 years. We have universal adult franchise. Those who crossed the age of 18 years will be having right to vote in their particular locality wherever they belong to. It doesn't mean like, sir, I am an Indian, so let me I belong to somewhere Bangalore, so can I go and vote in the Chennai or maybe in the Hyderabad, or I wanted to do it in the Delhi because I'm an adult. Like I got 20 years of age, I have the right to vote, right? As you said, and moreover, I got the voter ID. It doesn't mean you can vote anywhere. Okay, you should be voting only in your area and precise location. They'll give you the details before the elections, like where your vote is available and where you can avail it properly. In this particular form of government, anything that will be made through laws, rules, regulations, everything, though there is a constitution, within the guidelines of the constitution, these leaders or representatives will frame it. Before framing the policy, it depends. I mean, in India there is a system like Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. Since we are talking about the central government, so there will be 3 readings: first reading, second reading, and third reading. They'll introduce the policy. I mean, a draft copy of a proposed law anta barutte. Law means which is actually turning into a rule or something that has to be followed by everybody. Draft means a rough copy anta. So they will introduce the rough copy in the first reading. Second reading, they'll discuss among the house members. Third reading, they'll go for the suggestions and corrections and voting. Then the same process will carried out in the second house, and then it will go for the assent of the president at the central level. If it is in the state level, it will go for the governor signature. Once if it is getting signature, then it will be called as a law or rule which can be applicable across the particular territory. And here they gave democracy as a head, and somebody is holding the gun here, which means army is trying to pretend as if they are democratic. It mainly happened in Pakistan, and as I said you before, Pakistan is forcing people to vote, and even it's deciding the candidates who should contest in the elections. So army will decide the candidates who should contest in the elections, and it will decide when elections should be happening and who should become prime minister. If they are not listening to them, they'll change the candidate, put them in the jail, or give them some extreme punishments and create some fake proofs as if they have done something wrong before, and put them in the jail through the Supreme Court. They are misleading and they are misusing every possible power. Here, why do we say Pakistan is not a democracy? Because final decision should be rest with the people and voters, not in the hands of army or somebody else. And free and fair electoral competitions. Here, elections must be free, got it, and fair. Like there is no corruptions, there is no liquor, or there is no fear which is being created among the people. Like you are making them to afraid of you, and then you are asking them to vote for you. Obviously, they'll do vote because life matters, right, more than the vote. So they will be voting to you or a particular person. So these kinds of things should not be there. If at all these kind of activities involved in it, then we will not call it as a democracy. Take for example China, Chinese Communist Party, which is actually leading in China. So they have merged all other small parties put together, and they will decide only one candidate for every constituency. The funny part is people has to vote to that one particular candidate. You don't have nota, you don't have any other candidates. How funny it is, right? Even in India, if you don't like, even if there is 10 or 15 candidates contesting for the elections, you still have an option called nota, none of the above, as if you don't like any of them. At least to express your opinion, got it? We got rights to express ourselves, so we got it in India. So in China, they do it in this way. Xi Jinping, we call him, and he is ruling since maybe 2 decades, and he may continue further for many more years because he will be deciding everything as if he is the head of that particular party, and he will decide all other candidates. See, contesting only from one party and winning from everyone, winning everyone, and they'll make him only as a head of the nation, kind of president. So this is also not a democratic form of government. The same thing happens with Mexico as well. Elections after 6 years to elect a president. The country has never been under a military or dictator's rule, but until 2000, every election was won by a particular party. Here, they are doing every possible thing to win in the elections. PRI, got it, Institutional Revolutionary Party in Mexico. So they are using government forces, they are using government officers, government buildings, and moreover to win the elections they are threatening the public through the government officers, and moreover they are changing the polling booths, kind of where you go and vote. That particular locations will be changed. so that people will not be aware of it till the last minute, and when they come to know, they may not travel to other places. They might give up, like, anyway, my vote doesn't have any value over there. Why the hell should I go and vote over there? So this is the thing that's going to happen with them. They gave a democracy must be based on a free and fair election where those currently in power have a fair chance of losing. See here, when a particular prime minister or an MLA or MP or a minister did not do something well as public expected them to work and do, or if they have done so much of corruption and not being so accountable, in that scenario what happens is people obviously will go for the new option, right? They'll change the MLA or MP. So this is of election supposed to be happened. It has to be in the hands of voters, not in the hands of the ruling party or ruling people. That's the reason before the elections, even the government which is ruling is not having rights to make some policies like welfare schemes, because when you announce at the last minute welfare schemes, people might be attracted for that. We have that in India. The election comes, before the elections there will be particular period of time where he and his cabinet should not make any decisions mainly connected to welfare schemes, kind of giving money, or helping farmers, or construction of some dams or something for the public, saying that okay, this is a desert area, or this particular area do not have any roads or something, so we are going to assign it now and we are going to construct it now. These kinds of things should not happen, because that may attract the public to vote them again. Got it? And one person, one vote, one value. Every one person, every one adult will have only one vote and same value. It's not like in the movie styles, like when some high powerful candidate comes, he vote over there and his vote is worth of 10 votes of the common people. It should not happen in the democracy. See, for example, even prime minister comes and give his vote, that will be counted only once. And even when you or me, anybody, any adult go and vote, even that will be equivalent to the prime minister's vote. That's the fair way of doing it. Until 2015 in Saudi Arabia, women did not have the right to vote. They were never allowed them according to their things, like Shariat law and many other things. They did not accept it, might be, and now they have allowed them. So there was not much freedom given to women, but now it is being allowed them. Eastern Asia is a place where people, though they have a citizenship of them, if they are actually belonging to Russian minority, like people migrated from Russia and settled down over there, they should not get right to vote. In that scenario, we can't call it as a democracy, because every citizen in the country, having a valid age, should be allowed to vote. In Fiji, the electoral system is such that the vote of an indigenous Fiji has more value than that of an Indian Fijian. So here in this particular area, the original or indigenous people, indigenous person in the sense the person who belongs to that area since many generations, got it? Their vote is having more value, might be 3 times or maybe 4 votes, something like that. And when Indian migrated Fiji is voting over there, his vote will be less valued. It's like dollar and taking money. Same, $1, 1 rupee. If you take $1 is worth of 80 rupees, but 1 rupee is worth of only 1 rupee. It is just like that, as simple as that. Rule of law and respect for rights. So rule of law in the sense, the rule of law should be same for everybody. No matter who you are, come in the queue and do something. Got it? When you are going to a bus stand or waiting for the tickets in the railway station or metro station, we'll be like so aggressive. Why the hell and he and she is overcrossing us? Then why she or he is going before us? That's how we think. The same way, no matter who the hell it is, everybody must be treated equally. If they do anything wrong, must be treated and must be given the same kinds of punishment, and no favoritism should be done.